So you have some questions about the new immigration policy?
Yes, if you don't mind.
All right then, shoot.
I heard that 300,000 people are getting amnesty.
No, that is not what is happening at all. What is happening is there is going to be prosecutorial discretion.
What does that mean?
That immigration officials will decide who to try to deport and who they will allow to stay.
So the government is going to let 300,000 people stay here?
Not 300,000, just those who it is a waste of resources to deport.
So how many if not 300,000?
That is hard to say. As many as will be fair.
Fair to whom?
To the people who could be deported.
Who is it fair not to deport?
Good people who will be hurt or their families will be hurt if they are deported.
Isn't that everyone?
Not everyone. Just people who have been here a long time or who care for other people or who are old or sick or who have spouses in the military.
I heard also homosexuals.
Only if they are married.
But not all homosexuals live in places where they can get married. What about those who cannot get married?
I don't know. We'll have to work it out.
You said people can stay if they have lived here for a long time. How long is a long time?
It has not been decided yet.
Is 1 year a long time? 2 years? 3 years? 10 years?
I really cannot say for sure. I will have to get back to you on that.
How will these people support themselves if they are allowed to stay?
We will give them work permits so they can support themselves.
Will they be able to stay forever?
Probably not forever.
For how long?
I'm not sure. Probably until it is fair for them to go home.
What happens if it's never fair? It seems to me it only gets harder and harder to leave, the longer a person is here and the longer a person is working.
You may be right about that. We will have to look into that.
How can people sign up for this right to stay and get a work permit?
It is not a right to stay. People who are now in the process of being deported will be given this opportunity.
So only people who have been caught will get these benefits. That does not seem very fair. You said this is about being fair. Wouldn't people try to get caught so they can stay and get work permits? It seems to me everyone will want to get caught so they can stop being afraid and get the right to stay here and work. Wouldn't you want to be caught so you could stop being afraid and so you could get a work permit?
Maybe I would. But the policy is not supposed to work that way.
Won't people do anything to get caught? Won't lawyers and notarios take money from people to help them get caught so they can get work permits? Just because it is not what you expected doesn't mean it will not happen. Don't you think people will do anything to be allowed to stay and get work permits?
Many people have ways to get visas. Some can go abroad and get visas to come back if they have approved and current petitions. All they need to do is go to the American consulate in their country and get a visa, though of course many will need waivers. Those programs still exist.
Yes, but not everyone gets a waiver and those people may not be able to come back for 10 years. Wouldn't it be smarter to just try to get caught and get a work permit than to risk leaving and not being able to come back for 10 years? Unless your plan makes it easier to get a waiver. Does your plan make it easier to get a waiver?
No. This plan only addresses people in the United States who get caught.
If 300,000 people are being allowed to stay, I would think everyone will try to be one of them. Won't people who are fed up with the increased enforcement against them and new harsh state laws try to get arrested so they can get work permits rather than going back to their countries? Won't this policy encourage illegal people to stay and encourage more people to come here?
Stop saying this is about 300,000 people being allowed to stay. There is no magic number.
So you mean more than 300,000 may be able to stay?
If there are lots of good people who have been here a long time or who take care of others or are married homosexuals and who got caught, then I guess it could be more than 300,000.
What about people who already have been deported who are here a long time and are good people and whose families need them? Will they be able to come back?
No. That is not part of the plan.
That is not fair. Just because they got deported before the new plan, they cannot come back and be allowed to stay and take care of their families or come back to where they have always lived. I thought this plan was about being fair.
I am afraid the law does not allow people to come back. We have to follow the law even if we do not like it sometimes.
Doesn't the law say that unless you have been here for 10 years, are a person of good moral character, and can show extraordinarily unusual hardship to U.S. citizen or permanent resident parents, spouses, or children, you are not supposed to be here? If that is the law, then why don't we follow it?
It is not that we are not following the law. We are just trying to be more efficient. We cannot deport everyone. We want to concentrate on people who committed crimes.
Isn't coming to the U.S. illegally a crime?
Yes, but it's not fair to punish people for any crime. Just serious crimes.
There are many people who are actual permanent residents who have committed minor crimes many years ago who get deported. Some of them are even veterans. Are they going to be allowed to stay?
Actually, that is not part of the plan. The plan is to concentrate on trying to deport these people.
It does not seem fair to deport someone who is an actual permanent resident for breaking the law long ago and to allow people who broke the law by coming illegally who never were legal here to stay and get work permits. I thought the plan was supposed to be fair.
I agree there are still people who face unfairness, but we have to follow the law.
I don't understand why you just don't change the law for everyone.
We are not changing the law. The law is the same.
Why don't you just change the law?
We have tried, but Congress does not want to change the law.
I do not understand. I have read that many states are passing laws to make it harder and harder for illegal people to live and work in their states. It seems that Congress and the people are against this change in the law. They want the illegals to leave, not stay.
The American people are decent people who want to do the right thing. Also, this is more efficient.
Who is it you said will be making the decisions about prosecutorial discretion?
It will be Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers. They are the ones who understand the law the best.
So, are they in favor of this new policy? I have read that these officers are not in favor of these changes in the law. They say they risk their lives every day to enforce the laws about illegal people, and now you want to just release all the people they worked so hard to catch.
I understand that change is not always popular, but the people who enforce the immigration laws are brave men and women who are trained to follow instructions. That is their job. They all swear to follow the law even if they do not agree with it.
But this is not the law. You already said this was not the law. I am afraid I do not understand. This policy is contrary to the law. It is contrary to the will of the people as manifested by their elected officials in Congress and the state legislatures. It will encourage lawyers and notarios to try to get their clients arrested so they will get work permits, and it will encourage people to choose to get arrested rather than try to get visas abroad. It will also encourage people to stay and get arrested rather than go back to their countries, and encourage more people to come here illegally. Are you really sure this is more efficient?
Everyone understands the good intentions of this policy. I am sure everyone, both legal and undocumented, citizen and foreigner, private citizen and government worker, will understand how the policy is supposed to work and act accordingly. This is definitely a change you can believe in. Just watch.